Star Trek will not be presented tonight, so that we may bring you the following special program.
Minutes to go.
The best things about being an ex-big leaguer is getting freebies to the game. Call the front office, bingo. And once these fans recognize me, I probably won't even have to pay for my light beer from Miller. Down it! I love them. These fans know I drink light because it's less filling and it tastes great. Good seats, huh?
You're in the wrong seat, buddy. Come on.
Oh, I must be in the front row.
Come on.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Good seats, hey, buddy? He missed the tag! He missed the...
America's classic thrillers come to life. The Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries. An adventure into suspense.
There's got to be a way out of here.
You used to go with her?
Forget that.
Oh, Professor, do ghosts leave footprints?
The adventures of America's favorite young detectives come to television.
Follow that ghost.
The Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries.
You're going to do a scene with Boris Karloff. Your lines will appear right here. Read them loud and clear.
Come in. You know why I've asked you here. You must convince the villagers that I'm harmless. You're trembling. Are you afraid? Have some nice hot coffee. It's butternut. Like it? Butternut has found a way of making coffee richer without being bitter. Butternut has found a way of making coffee richer without being bitter. Take this. Oh, don't worry. I've lots more. Butternut coffee, regular and instant, rich but never bitter.
Nothing could tear me away from my Count Chocula cereal. Who's that? Good morning.
The real Dracula.
For real? May I have some? You can have mine.
I'll sink my teeth into
What?
the delicious chocolatey marshmallows and Count Chocula cereal.
Oh, yeah. And it's part of this complete breakfast, too. How about the monster for breakfast today?
For real?
Come a little closer, madam. I want to tell you about something your children will love. Monster vitamins. They're fun. They're screaming Mimi. Babbly Bat. Monster Mobile. Monsters taste terrific too, Mother. Your children should get vitamins by eating right, but when they don't, Mother, Monsters and Monsters plus Iron sure help. My children love them. Right, kids?
Right!
6 minutes to go to show.
Beware. Beware. Beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys. Puppy ducktails and big fat snails. Beware. Take care.
Blah, blah. I'm scared. Blah. Blah.
You're funny.
Wow, the new Pontiac! What a sweetheart! The Pontiac! What a beauty!
The new Pontiac. What a gas.
Break away.
Don't get left behind. See your Pontiac dealer and break away.
Pontiac, get a wide track in Pontiac.
To go.
Great cereal, Frankenberry.
Frankly, it's very good. Our visitor, perhaps he'd like a monster for breakfast today.
The real Frankenstein.
This monster's not on the menu.
What Frankenberry cereal is? Strawberry-flavored marshmallows? It's part of his complete breakfast.
Good.
How about a monster for breakfast today?
For real.
Igor, go and get me what I crave.
Evening, Igor.
If you want a better orange soda, made with more natural orange flavor than ever before, try Shasta. It's got the bright color, the sweet smell, and the great taste of oranges. Shasta, it's the orange soda that can make anybody happy.
Hey, Yellow. Check out my Halloween costume.
What are you going as?
A cannibal.
Oh. Ooh, that's dark.
Somebody say party. looking good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, this looks good. Look at it. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Everyone at our place. What have you come as? Ta-da. Not the Pope. No, not the Pope. Space Pope? No.
Maybe this will help.
Whoa, what? That's like a miniature version of me.
Which makes me
my #1 fan.
No. Powerful. Oh! Does that actually work?
It's a party, so let's dance and see if you can dance. Come on, man. Just save it for the party.
Be a dog. Go and grab me a beer.
No. Oh, I see you going. No, Dylan, stop. Now, 45 degrees. Don't forget that slave money. Turn round. No. Dylan. No. It's good. It's not quite Carling.
Carling, refreshingly perfect.
Radio Shack is the place people go for specialty batteries for all kinds of things. Choose from over 1,000 batteries. Radio Shack has more power. Radio Shack.
Heading for Woolworth and Woolco to get set for Halloween. There's costumes of TV favorites like Wonder Woman and the Hulk. There's popular characters from Star Wars, and there's superheroes like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, and many more at bare bones prices, $2.38 to $4.17. And there's Spook Sticks, Space Pops, Hallowitches, wrapped candy of every kind, all at the favorite Halloween haunts, Woolworth and Woolco.
And now, on with the show.
Now, everyone at home, Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney ho. Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney ho.
Showtime.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's everybody mocks Bela Lugosi. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why. I'm sure he doesn't like it, but he probably doesn't care anymore. Well, you know, he's buried real close to Bing Crosby.
Oh, really?
I mean, within feet of Bing Crosby. So that's very cool.
Well, I'll have to go see that sometime if I ever get back out there.
That's yeah. Well, you know what I hate about flying is the TSA and the lines, and they pack the plane so much. Anyway, I digress. So welcome to the show. Welcome to our Halloween spectacular, as we call it.
That's right, pre-Halloween kind of.
Well, pre-Halloween, yeah. Exactly, pre-Halloween.
Well, happy Halloween.
So what is
what is this? Remember this? Huh?
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's Anna Lapwood. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. So
Phantom of the Opera.
So what is the origins of Halloween? I mean, how did it all start? Let's start at the beginning. So
well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm just curious because I don't know.
All right, it started out as All Saints Day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's always
that sounds like a Catholic thing.
Well, sort of it is. It started, of course, October 31st. Yep. It begins the observance of All Hallow Tide.
Right.
The time of the liturgical year dedicated to remembering the dead, including saints, martyrs, and the faithful departed.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with the Mexican Day of the Dead, which is coming up in November. I think it's November. I forget the dates, 8th through 10th or something like that.
That's
totally different.
That's totally different.
And it's not related to any religion or anything to your knowledge.
Halloween activities include trick-or-treating,
right,
which we all did as kids,
yeah,
related to souling, attending Halloween costume parties, carving pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns, you know. In many parts of the world, the Christian religious observances of All Hallows Eve, including attending church and lighting candles on the graves of the dead.
Ooh.
And that remains very popular to this day. A lot of people will go to graveyards on Halloween. And,
I know.
You know?
Well, it's popular to do in New Orleans because the cemetery in New Orleans, everybody's buried above ground because of the water table, and you know.
Well, the Feast of All Hallows, on its current date in the Western Church, may be traced back to Pope Gregory III.
Oh.
From 731 to 741.
Did you say Pope?
The Pope, yes. Pope Gregory.
The Pope.
Founding of an oratory in St. Peter's, the relics of the holy apostles and all saints, martyrs, and confessors.
Oh, wow.
So it does have a Catholic connection.
It does. It does.
Yeah, it does.
Now, do they have a trunk or treat at at your church?
No.
St. Paul Newman?
Well, it's sort of a Protestant thing, I think. They have a fall festival.
Fall festival.
And it kind of includes Halloween.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And they had that a week or so ago, actually.
It's funny. I think I passed a church here on Killian or Indian Trail, whatever it's called. And their banner was a trunk or treat. But it had a creepy-looking sunset with bats and stuff in it.
Oh, really?
Going, wait a minute.
Well, you know,
I'm trying to get away from the monster or the.
I have always enjoyed Halloween.
Yeah,
going back to when I was a kid, October is one of my favorite months.
Now, did you go back and did you and your brothers you trick or treat around the block or whatever?
The whole neighborhood, yes.
Yeah, but did you change outfits and go around again?
No, we didn't do that.
Yeah,
that was just cheating and double dipping on the candy.
Exactly.
No, my mother or dad would take me and my brother around. You know, we would dress up, and then when we got back home with all the treats, we'd have to pour them all on the table in the kitchen to weed out stuff that we couldn't have.
Yeah, I remember that. So what was the scariest thing you ever dressed up as that you recall? I don't know.
Do you remember?
Yes.
What?
Frankenstein.
Really?
Yeah, I had a costume and everything. The Cooper costume. I wish I still had it because it's worth a couple $100.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of those.
I don't remember. We dressed up. I think I was a pirate one year. Let me think.
Did you have a patch over your eye? And did you go? Arr?
I did have a patch.
Did you go? Arr, trick or treat? Arr.
I didn't do that.
Okay. Well, then you weren't a pirate. You were just a Halloween in a pirate costume.
You know, we both worked at Turner Broadcasting. Let me mention this. And then when Ted owned the company, a couple of years that I was there, I don't think you were there.
Well, he had Halloween parties.
He had Halloween parties over at his sign company, Turner Outdoor Advertising.
Well, no, I wasn't there.
No, it was in a huge warehouse where they had the Turner Outdoor Advertising. He had all the billboards around town. He said it sold them a long time ago.
Right.
But he had terrific Halloween parties. I mean, they were just like, everybody wanted to go to that party.
Yeah. But he had prizes too, right?
Oh, he gave away television, stereos. I mean, I went 2 years in a row, and it was wonderful. And all the Braves went. You know, the Braves players. Yeah, a lot of those guys went. You know, because he owned the Braves back then.
Because he made them come, probably.
No, he didn't make them come. And Ted even showed up.
Yeah.
He didn't stay for the whole thing, but he was there. But that was some of the best Christmas parties I ever went to.
Well, the Christmas parties, yes, but not, you're talking about Halloween parties.
Halloween parties, yeah.
But
What did I say, Christmas?
Yeah, you just said Christmas.
I mean Halloween.
But the Christmas parties, I remember they had it at Omni, and they had some good prizes.
Oh, yeah,
and, And then we had a separate party at Turner. What are we talking about, Turner? Who cares?
Turner. We're talking about Halloween.
I was editing something, and all of a sudden somebody brings a Sony 8mm camera up and says, "Look, you just won." So
Really?
I won.
You won?
1 year. 1 year.
I don't think I ever won anything at the Halloween parties, but I had a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, all the food. I mean, I had just a spread of food, any kind of booze you wanted, beers, liquor, whatever. But I didn't get drunk or anything.
Good, good camaraderie and whatnot, and so there it is. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something there.
What are you looking for on your phone?
Nothing. But so anyway.
Anyway, we're going to cover Halloween. It's our Halloween show. We're a little early, but Halloween is only a couple of weeks away.
Right.
Right. And we're going to cover, the classic horror movies.
Right.
That you and I kind of grew up watching. Of course.
And you know what? Starting with those. I've gone back recently and tried to watch some of the ones that I missed, like Curse of the Werewolf, Werewolf of London, Son of Dracula, with Lon Chaney Jr.
Now you're older, so they look a little bit different than when you were younger.
Well, the quality's great. The quality's great, but they're not very good movies.
If you have Peacock TV has all the old classic horror movies. And I watched one last night with Bela. Some people say Bela, called Night Monster.
Just like some people say Basil or Basil. It's Basil.
Which do you prefer?
It's Basil.
Okay.
Like Basil Fawlty from Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
Okay, continue. So you watched one. What'd you watch?
Night Monster.
Night Monster.
Well,
I thought you watched it 2 or 3 weeks ago because you told me you were watching it, and I turned over to it and started watching it. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, maybe so. But anyway, I watched it again. But one thing about Peacock TV, people, if you have Peacock, on those movies, they run maybe 3 or 4 minutes of commercials at the very beginning of the movie. What are you doing?
No, I'm just looking. I'm listening.
They run 3 or 4 commercials, and then they say, and now it's showtime. And what they do, they just play the whole movie with no commercials.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I don't mind. And plus, their commercials are not very long.
No,
maybe 30 seconds at the most.
You're right. They're not.
And they run maybe about 4 commercials, and they run the movie.
Yeah.
But,
right.
if you don't have Peacock, go get it. They got great stuff on there.
They really do. No, they do. I watch the Munsters. They got all the Munsters on there with Freddie Gwen, Yvonne DiCarlo, and Carlos.
Yeah. Speaking of the Munsters,
let's see that.
I worked at Turner, and we'll get to the movie short. But I worked at Turner, and they had a show on Saturdays called Super Scary Saturday, hosted by Al Lewis of the Munsters.
Right.
He played Grandpa.
Right.
And I used to see him all the time. And some days he would come in, he would be in a great mood. Other days he'd be a real jerk.
He's cantankerous.
He can be really cantankerous. But anyway, I found a picture. I hope this shows up. This is me and Al Lewis when I worked at Turner. He came in for a Halloween showing at CNN Center when Ted had some movie theaters down there. And they showed one of my favorite horror movies, The Fearless Vampire Killers. But anyway,
really?
He hosted it. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that?
Let me see over here.
Can you show it on your camera? That's
if you move your big old head, I will. So
that's me and Al Lewis.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you and Al.
Yeah.
And glorious color. And
that's
now
right.
I have to show mine. So here's me and Al Lewis. Well, the camera. Doesn't show. Anyway,
I can see it, whether they can see it or not. Yeah, that's a great picture.
It's me and I got him to sign it.
That's when your beard was brown instead of gray.
Are you saying? Yeah.
Well, hey, we had a great time. I remember that night. We had a great time. Yeah. I found that the other day.
Yeah, he was nice. He could be cantankerous. He had a doctorate. He had all kinds of stuff. He had no business acting. He was a college professor type material, and
he also had a restaurant in New York.
Grandpa's. Yeah. Or was it called? Yeah, I think it was called Grandpa's. But
and he smoked those smelly cigars.
Guitars, cigars. I
don't know why I said that.
Same thing.
Whatever.
So let's start at the beginning. Now I really want to talk about Nosferatu because that was the
that was really the first movie about Count Dracula.
But as a kid, you probably weren't aware of it, were you?
No. You
were aware of Frankenstein, Dracula, werewolf.
Well, Nosferatu was directed by F.W. Murnau.
Right.
And movie came out in 1922, silent. I think it has just a picture of F.W. Murnau.
Yeah, you do. You do somewhere.
Hang on a second, let me show
you. And on that picture, it's him in front of one of the, I was going to say Technicolor cameras.
There it is.
And there's a picture of him.
That's
right
F.W. Murnau. And he was a German expression horror maker. He directed this movie, and it starred Max Schreck as Count Orlok.
Really?
And one thing about this movie, Mary Shelley, he had a lot, not Mary, she did Frankenstein, but a lot of people accused him of not paying royalties for Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Right. And so a lot of the prints were destroyed.
Really?
They ordered him, so not many survived of Dracula. But it's based on the 1897 novel.
Wow.
Count Orlok.
Wow.
Okay.
So
I've got, let's see here, there's
It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom. You looking for the trailer? Yeah.
Yeah, where is it?
It's at the very bottom, near the bottom. But Nosferatu was silent, and was it Kino that has re-released it?
Right, Kino. If you here it is right here. Can you see that?
I'm not on you right now, but let me go to the trailer.
Okay.
So the trailer, of course, has got the general audiences
Is the trailer playing now?
Yeah, it's playing right now. But
let's take a listen to it.
But so here it is.
No, it's really a good movie, and this is the Kino version here. See right there?
Oh, okay.
Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
The Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Now, Kino is a terrific company. They take the classics and they remaster them and get the best quality prints they can find and re-release them.
Yeah.
Kino is a great company, and I got Blu-ray and a DVD, so they do a great job. If you've never seen the original Nosferatu, and one thing I like about it is it's in black and white, but it's color tinted.
Mhm.
Like the night scenes are kind of blue,
Right.
and the really scary scenes are kind of tinted red.
Right.
You know, along with the black and white. Oh, it's wonderful. It's a great movie.
It's directed by who?
F.W.
Now-
Murnau.
Now, the guy that's up right now on the screen. So,
Yeah.
so you were telling me a story about him that sounded kind of creepy.
Well, he was killed in 1931. He was actually going to a showing of his movie, from what I understand, and his driver had a wreck. And him and a friend in the back of the car were killed in 1931. And he's buried in Germany. I think I have a picture of his grave.
I didn't see one. I didn't see one.
I think
I didn't see one over there. But so he was in the back seat. Obviously, back then there was no seat belts.
Here's the grave. I got the grave.
Okay.
That's
So
there he is. He's buried in Berlin. Of course, he's from Germany. But what happened over the years, somebody robbed his grave and took his skull.
Oh.
Isn't that creepy?
Wow, that is.
They've never found it, and they've never found out who robbed his grave.
Super creepy. Wow.
But he was killed in an auto accident, and so but he made some really good movies before he died. He never made a sound. It was all silent.
Right. It was all silent.
Yeah.
It was all silent. Yeah. You'll have to look back there.
But he started it. I mean, he did, really Nosferatu was the first.
Yeah.
Dracula movie.
But it was.
So it's like I said, it's a wonderful movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Never seen it. Check it out.
It's back then. Silent movies were not very long either, right?
No.
Yeah, you really need to get some WD-40 for that chair.
I know. I kept saying I was going to do it.
Yeah, too much time has gone by since we've done it. You forgot it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a loud chair. I'm sorry.
When you went trick or treating, we go back. Did you ever do any tricks on people for not giving you candy?
No, I never did. But in the neighborhood, they used to toilet paper the trees, and then put
and eggs or whatever.
Dog poop in a bag and set it on fire and put it on front porch and stuff like that. But no. And my brother, being kind of a interesting character back then, didn't do anything mean that I know of. Now there's a typical knock over the bird bath and stuff like that, but I don't think it's any actual breakage or anything. But people did not decorate back then like they do today.
It's more of an adult party now.
It's more, yeah. I know that Shane, who plays Professor Mote over at the Plaza, he has a haunted house at his house.
And it's open on his webpage today on Facebook. I saw it. He's got the haunted house and everything.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Shane.
The Plaza local, the oldest theater in Atlanta is owned by Christopher Escobar, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And they have the Silver Screen Spook Show every couple of months, I think it is.
Well,
it depends.
They've done the last one for the year.
Yeah, and they show a classic old movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes just a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Like we went and saw Robot Monster there once, remember? One of the worst movies
the funnest part
ever
about
put
that,
on
the
film.
funnest part about that movie was it was filmed, 75mm film, and Ben Ruder had to sit there and adjust the focus every few seconds because it was so warped.
Oh yeah.
And it kept going out of focus, but that was.
But now it's all digital. They run a digital copy.
And that was back when they had the Plaza. Now that movie, speaking of Robot Monster, which I did bring the trailer in, they've restored that and restored it back to 3D, or made it 3D, and there's a Blu-ray of that coming out, or has come out.
I was never a fan of 3D.
No.
I mean,
listen, 3D would not help that movie.
No.
That movie was so bad.
No,
if you think Plan 9 from Outer Space,
I like that movie though. It's so bad it's good. But Robot Monster is just bad. It's not even good.
It's just plain bad.
It's just
and am I parked on Plan 9? Am I parked on Plan 9?
I don't know. Let me look.
So Plan 9. If you thought Plan 9 was bad, Robot Monster is just absolutely hideous.
Plan 9's at the very bottom. You want it?
Yeah, click it. Why not? And so let's watch a little bit of that for those of you who have never seen it.
Does this have audio?
Yes, it's got audio. And here comes Plan 9 from outer
play it.
space.
It is safe to state that the grandchildren of some of the people in this theater will not be born on Earth. They come from the bowels of hell, a transformed race of walking dead, zombies guided by a master plan for complete domination of the Earth. Plan 9 from outer space. Starring the most nightmarish cast ever, Bela Lugosi, the seductive Vampira, and Tor Johnson as the Walking Dead.
Turn off your electrode gun! No! No! Stop it, Dennis! I can't get it, it's jammed! Stop it, you fool!
Bullets bounce off their bodies. Rockets, missiles, jets cannot stop their death ships. What earthly power can stop this terror? For a glimpse of things to come, see this blast of screen suspense. For it could be happening right now.
All right.
And we're back. And you're back in the frame.
Okay.
All right, speaking of Plan 9 from space, look what I got. That's Vampira from Plan 9.
That's a cool looking
from outer space. So
version.
yeah.
Let me see.
It was made by NECA Toys, and it's Toony Terras from NECA. So they did a whole series of different things. I haven't seen the Tor Johnson one though.
The what? See, you know more about those toys than I do. I don't
Tor
know.
Johnson, he was in Plan 9 from outer
Oh,
space.
okay. Oh.
So I don't know about that. So you have to click on.
He was the ball-headed guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. He was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was a wrestler.
Oh.
Yeah. So what are you going to say about Bella? So some people say Bella.
Some people Bela. Some people say Bella. I've always said Bella.
Bella.
You know.
Yeah.
There were some pictures of it. Did you see some pictures of it?
Well, yeah, but I was unable to click it. So.
Well, let's see what we got
yeah.
here.
And once again, you're off camera.
I know. I'll be back. Don't go away.
So anyway, so Bela Lugosi, he had a substance abuse problem, which got him in trouble, and I can click that.
Yeah.
So,
there we go.
There is in his younger days, before, for all I know, he had a drug problem then. But he, right after Dracula, it seemed like he was on a downward spiral, heading into B-movie dumb. So after Dracula, which was his most famous role.
That's his most famous
and then
role.
White Zombie, he looked really great in White Zombie, but the movie was terrible too. So it's
The White Zombie wasn't very good.
It wasn't very good at all. So if you quit twisting your head, I could see the monitor.
There you go.
So
we have a trailer for Dracula too.
So Dracula. Let's play the trailer from Dracula. So refamiliarize yourself with Dracula.
Play it.
I am Dracula. A moment ago, I stumbled upon a most amazing phenomenon. Something so incredible, I mistrust my own judgment. Look.
Dracula. The very mention of the name brings to mind things so evil, so fantastic, so degrading. You wonder if it isn't all a dream, a nightmare.
Rats. Rats. Thousands. Millions of them.
But no, this is no dream. This is Dracula, the original terrifying story of a maniac and a man who lived after death, lived on human blood, took the form of a vampire bat, and lured innocent girls to a fate truly worse than death.
Dracula? Oh, what's he done to you, dear? Tell me.
He came to me. He opened a thing in his arm, and he made me drink.
Cool. All right, cool. That was Dracula.
You know, that movie, I like that movie better than the original Frankenstein. I mean, I like Frankenstein. We have the trailer for that, but Dracula, that to me, that's one of the best versions made with Bela Lugosi.
Yeah,
it's just so good.
Yeah.
And I have a 16 millimeter print. Also, Universal released it. There's a camera. Remastered.
Yeah. Yeah.
See there?
Yeah. Wow.
And it's a beautiful copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure it is. But it's not. It's not a really, really long movie. It's
no, it's on 2 reels on film.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
It's
Now, Boris Karloff, as we see here,
that's an early picture of Boris.
Very young Boris Karloff. I mean, he was acting before he got the role of Frankenstein. So I don't know what he was doing as far as what he did to get the role of Frankenstein. Do you have any knowledge of that?
No, he did well, I'm sure I do. He did movies way before. Well, I can't think of any right off the top of my head. I know he did.
He did a bunch of B movies in between Frankenstein, and he did Mysterious. He played a Chinese detective, Mr. Wong, I think his name was, and he also played in the Abbott Costello movie later. He played
we have a trailer for that.
Yeah, and he did a lot of stuff. He did a lot more movies than Bela did. I mean, his B, C, D, whatever you want to call them, movies were a lot better than Bela's. What Bela would consider his A movies.
Well, punch my camera. He did this movie. Here's one of my favorites.
Whether it's the Ed Wood or whatever the case may be. So Body Snatcher had Bela in it too. Is that correct?
Excuse me. I'm getting over a cold. Yeah, it's Edith Atwater, Henry Daniell, and Bela Lugosi.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
That was.
So if you're gonna watch movies, there's some bad ones that might turn you off.
Mm-hmm.
As far as some of the movies that either one of them did. I mean, I trying to sit through White Zombie or
no, that's not very good.
Any of the Ed Wood vehicles that he did, he's overacting. He's just not very good in those. But some of the other, like I've got a 60 millimeter print of Genus. Genus something, I forget the name of it now, but it plays a minor role of a butler in the movie, and it's actually quite a funny little vehicle. That a little radio romp is what I call it, and it's an RKO picture. So he worked for some major studios here and there, but mostly it was Monument Films or
I think his daughter is still alive. She did
well, I know his son, I believe Bela's son is still alive.
She his daughter, I've seen her on TCM talking about her dad.
Right.
And I have a picture. Hang on a second. I had it.
You had what?
The combo.
Right. Of all three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like The Mummy?
But it's Karloff on all of them. Though.
Yeah. Did you like The Mummy?
Yeah, I liked it when Karloff did it, but
Yeah,
I didn't care for it when Lon Chaney did it. I liked The Mummy when Christopher Lee was the Mummy, and I also liked the newer Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser.
That was a good one.
The newer ones.
And also Tom Cruise did a version of The Mummy, which is not bad.
I
enjoyed it.
Which was Universal trying to relaunch the
Right.
classic movies, and it nosedived. It really was not met well with the critics.
Right.
Was she good as a mummy? Probably, but whether or not the critics didn't like it, and I didn't care for it. I didn't think it was that good. I didn't think it was that good.
And you've got a great picture of Frankenstein at your house. That statue.
Yeah, well, that's the statue. Yeah. Which I've got. Why'd you do that?
Oh, I didn't mean
So,
sorry.
Anyway, so Al keeps reaching back to the computer to do things.
I thought we were ready for the next one.
I don't know what he's doing, but anyway. So we're getting back to Boris Karloff now. Boris Karloff, his acting career, it took him all the way, unfortunately, until he passed away. And I had a trailer, which I didn't bring in, but of him and Vincent Price on the Red Skelton Show. And if you can, it's on YouTube, and just type in Vincent Price, Boris Karloff sing, and it'll come up, and it's quite cute. It's a cute little ditty, as I call it.
Was that one of the last appearances?
That was one of the last appearances of Karloff, so which makes it even better to try to watch. Let's get Frankenstein in real quick, and we'll come back and discuss right after break.
Okay.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
When this dead hand moves, the monster created by a man they called Mad is turned loose to strike terror into the hearts of men. To shock women into uncontrolled hysteria.
Elizabeth!
To prey upon the innocence of children. This is the story you've heard about, talked about. The spine-tingling, blood-chilling story that stuns your emotions. Frankenstein.
Don't touch that!
There we go.
All right.
Karloff.
Did you like Frankenstein? You like that version?
No, I listen. I as a kid, that was my favorite version. Karloff as the monster, and I didn't care for Lon Chaney as a monster. I didn't care for Bela Lugosi as a monster. Glenn Strange was the only one that came along after all those. That played the monster well. He was in Abbott Costello.
Yeah, he was in the Abbott Costello version.
And he was also the barkeeper of from Gunsmoke. He also
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was also the barkeep. And so if you look at him, if you're watching old Gunsmoke and you see the bartender, look at him closely because you can tell it's kind of him, and it is. But he was what the if you bought the Aurora Frankenstein model. He was that color rendition of Frankenstein on the front of the box.
Right.
Was closer to him than it was Karloff, but if you put the model together, it was definitely Karloff, driven ahead. Now, what they've done is this being the world of 3D printing, etc., you can buy a new Karloff head to put on the Aurora Monster model and make it even more like Karloff if you want it to be. And there's a group of people that made a life-size Karloff Frankenstein Aurora kit monster, along with the paint, the paintbrush, the box, and it's everything. It appeared at the I think it was Monsterpalooza, is where they premiered it.
Right.
And what happened to it afterwards, I really don't know. But that's a shame. But anyway, I digress into talking. Bride of Frankenstein, to me, was the best Frankenstein vehicle of all of them. If you had to pick one Frankenstein movie with Karloff playing Frankenstein, not Son of Frankenstein, not Ghost of Frankenstein, any of those other ones, that's the best one. Because Frankenstein
Elsa Lanchester played the bride, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
For as briefly as it was. They should have done some kind of follow-up or made that scene longer. I don't know why they didn't.
You know, she was in a version of Night Gallery.
Yeah.
And where her fingers, one of them got cut off, and she buried the finger. You know, anyway, she planted all of these, and they grew so fast. Remember that? You know, she was in a version of Night Gallery.
No,
called the green. I think it was called the green fingers, the finger, or something like that.
Yeah, listen. I stopped watching Night Gallery when
she was
when they had
much
Joan
older.
Crawford,
of course.
When they had Joan Crawford, I went, no, I don't think so.
I used to love Night Gallery.
I didn't care for Joan Crawford at all. Sorry, all you Joan Crawford fans.
Well, she was okay in some movies.
I didn't care for her.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just didn't care for her.
It's
not because of Mommy Dearest either. It's just I didn't care for her. I didn't care for her, and I didn't care for Faye Dunaway's.
You didn't like her in Mommy Dearest?
No, that was Faye Dunaway, but I didn't care for her.
No, Joan Crawford was in Mommy Dearest.
No, that was.
What am I thinking about?
No,
Mildred Pierce.
That was Faye Dunaway.
Yeah, Faye Dunaway played Joan Crawford. You're right.
How's she playing herself?
I'm just getting old.
Yeah.
But no, she was. I liked her in Mildred Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was good in that.
But to each his own.
I don't think she did any horror movies, did she? Well,
oh yes, she did. She did a bunch of schlocky ones.
Yeah, Columbia back in later in the '60s, she made some.
She did some schlocky horror films. Yes, she most certainly.
She always had these bushy eyebrows for a woman. You know, she had these really bushy.
Ever since she married that,
she ran
CEO
Pepsi Cola.
Pepsi.
Yeah, she ran Pepsi Cola after he died or something, didn't she?
Or tried to run it.
Tried to run it.
You know, and they voted her out or something. But anyway, I digress. Now, talking about Karloff again, he acted, like I said earlier, he acted all the way until he pretty much passed away because he was in a wheelchair. He wasn't in good health. But yet, even when he did the Red Skelton thing, for instance, he drew himself up from the chair and was able to walk and do the scene. But as soon as the scene was over, he pretty much collapsed in the chair. And you know, he did several non-horror films back then. Targets was one of them.
Wasn't he in one of the beach movies one time with where's that Buster Keaton? I know Buster Keaton was
Buster Keaton was in it with
Annette Funicello,
with Elizabeth Montgomery playing the character from Bewitched without saying Bewitched.
Oh, okay.
But they kind of alluded to it. Yeah. She did her nose thing, but that was Buster Keaton that did a bunch of those.
Yeah, but you know, Boris, he acted way on up until
up until he passed.
And don't forget, he did the Thriller TV show.
Yes, he did.
This, folks, is going to be a thriller.
I've got I should have brought it. I've got the Life magazine where he appeared on the cover with a birthday cake, and he was right before he passed away.
Now, again, if you like the Thriller, which are great shows, I think they're available on Roku TV on one of their channels.
Yeah.
Because I've watched several of them.
Yeah.
And they're still good to this day. I mean, they were so good.
Good to the last job.
They were.
And all they were wraparounds, like Rod Serling did for a Twilight Zone.
Right. He just did.
And Alfred Hitchcock did for a Hitchcock Hour. So it was
Thriller was I remember watching it as a kid, and then I still watch them today, along with the Alfred Hitchcock Hour.
So what do you think of this guy right here? Vincent Price.
Everybody loves Vincent Price.
Everybody knows who Vincent Price is.
I mean, he was one of the best.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the best, and he was out there. He was doing commercials. I found so many commercials with him in it that
really,
that weren't even funny commercials that him and his wife appeared in, and it was amazing all the stuff I found on Vincent Price. I didn't want to bring it all in because we'd be here for another hour just showing all the Vincent Price stuff. But he was in so many different things, like the picture you put up there of him acting several different roles. But that was his younger days, and I already showed that one.
Oh, did?
Yes, that's why I went to that one. Let me do the.
I'll let you the switch.
Thank you.
Okay.
But anyway, he was all over the
and I
place.
love his voice.
Oh yeah, everybody loved his voice. He was even in some Jack Benny shows. And Jack Benny.
Well, he could be a comic too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he could be a really good comic.
Jack Benny always tried to be intelligent to him, and he was always show Jack up and who do you think you are? Now, the abominable Dr. Phibes, I wasn't a big fan of that movie, but it did well for American International Pictures.
I like Mosque of the Red Death.
Yep,
that was a good one. I liked. I got the Haunted Palace.
Yep, because you clicked it, but I can't do anything. But Haunted Palace was another one, and your favorite, one of your favorites is House on Haunted Hill, if I'm not mistaken. That's what you were talking about earlier during lunch. You were talking about House on Haunted Hill.
There's a picture of it. Can you?
And it's up there right now. It's up there right.
Okay,
Don't touch that. Or I lose control. All right, so House on Haunted Hill. It was black and white. Now was that a what company put
it? Was
an
Allied Artist picture.
Allied Artist, okay.
It wasn't a Universal picture. I had a 16mm print back in the day.
Okay.
That I got from a collector.
So it wasn't a William Castle film. Was it a William Castle film?
No, it wasn't William Castle.
Why was I thinking it was? I don't know why.
No. The Tingler was a William Castle.
The Tingler, yes. Yeah. Well, of course it was. Yeah, of course it was.
But we have a trailer for House on Haunted Hill. I think I have it.
No, I didn't see it over there.
It's right there.
If
you hit it, it'll play.
All right, well let's watch that.
This is the House on Haunted Hill.
All right.
I'm Vincent Price, and you're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill, where so far the ghosts have murdered only 7 people. So won't you come and make it 8? You'll see human heads without bodies. Mysterious pools of blood dripping from the ceiling. The walls move slowly in against you. Don't try to escape, you can't. You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me in the house on Haunted Hill? Hurry, or you'll be late for your own funeral.
Well, you see, I've seen that movie several times.
You don't like it?
It was okay.
It's
but-
okay.
Yeah.
Mark Frito, he made a comment. He says, I still have an invitation to one of the old Turner Halloween parties filled with caricatures of many Turner personalities. And that is true. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, I'm sure Bill Tush was one of them.
Yeah, probably.
Our good buddy Bill Tush, you know.
So House on Haunted Hill is. I can still watch it to this day. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie.
I do.
It's a good movie if you got nothing else to watch.
Now wait a minute. I have it on DVD. Want to watch it?
No, I don't particularly.
Actually, I watched it on TCM. Ran it the other day. One of the channels I watched it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But
let's watch this trailer real quick. Let's watch this trailer and see
what do you got?
see
What's coming up?
All right, here it comes.
It's coming from the deep, dark recesses of the mind of Mel Brooks. I love him. Young Frankenstein.
Life, you hear me? Give my creation life!
Sky means business. Starring Gene Wilder as Dr. Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Peter Boyle as the monster. Marty Feldman as Igor.
My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh.
Cloris Leachman as Frau Blucher. And Madeline Kahn as Elizabeth.
What are you going to do to me? I'm not afraid of you.
Kill the monster! See Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein.
Yes, I think we could all use a good laugh.
But don't see it alone. Don't miss Young Frankenstein, personally directed by Mel Blazing Saddles Brooks.
All right.
All right. Now, what movie was that? Young Frankenstein. Now, I remember going to see that, and I was so let down by it.
Why?
Because everyone at that time
right
had built it up and built it up. Oh, it's the funniest movie of all time. And I was expecting so much from it, and was so let down. Now,
it delivered. I thought it was Mel Brooks' best movies.
No, wait a minute. I like it. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I was disappointed at the same time. It's because everybody had built it up. And that's the problem with movies. People will build them up, but whether it's a Marvel movie, whether it's Demeanor or whatever, the new Scorsese movie,
right?
And you're expecting all the stuff, and you go and go, you know. He said, I do. I'm sure you don't.
Well, I thought it was great. I love the movie. I remember, going to see it in my hometown in Wilmington at the Oleander Cinema 1 and 2.
Wow.
But it's really a good movie. I think it's Mel Brooks' best, even over Blazing Saddles. And I like Blazing Saddles.
I love Blazing Saddles.
But this movie's so clever, and they actually use some of the old Universal sets.
Yes.
When they filmed this.
They actually contacted the guy that owned a lot of the electronics and stuff that you see in the movie.
Right.
And they rented them or leased them or borrowed them or whatever they could do to use them in the movie. So what you're seeing, some of that stuff, is the original stuff that they used in Frankenstein.
In the Frankenstein movie.
Which is great.
Yeah, it was a 20th Century Fox release, and
Yeah.
but so I guess Universal didn't own all of that stuff.
No, I guess not.
I don't know. The staircase in Dracula, the one that
Yes.
goes up, that was still around at Universal for many years. I don't know whether they got rid of it or they just left it set up.
It's gone now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Just like the other week, this last week, they bulldozed the Warner Brothers back lot. With the Bewitched House and the Partridge Family and all that stuff is gone now.
Well, you know what the rumor is about Warner Brothers, don't you?
And they're going to put condos.
You know what the rumor is about Warner Brothers, don't you?
What?
Comcast wants to buy them.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. Rumor.
They've made Comcast, of course, owns Universal and NBC. They got plenty of money.
Yeah.
And so they want to buy Warner Brothers.
What happened to the days of the monopoly? You would have a monopoly, so you can't do that. There used to be a law against that. I guess they don't care anymore.
Well, they have to be approved. Well, Disney bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
It's...
Go figure.
The whole business has changed.
I know. We were talking earlier about, a few minutes ago, about The Tingler.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch a trailer of The Tingler, which I've seen, I think you and I have seen.
Now we went to the Plaza Theater to the Silver Screen Spook Show, and they actually did a replica of the Tingler in the aisles. Remember?
Right. Yes, I do.
It was great. It was probably one of the best spook shows.
It was.
It was because it's a great movie.
It was a great movie. Here comes the
Tingler.
I'm William Castle, and I feel obligated to warn you about the next attraction you will see at this theater. The picture is The Tingler, which I directed. And for the first time in motion picture history, members of the audience, including you, will actually play a part in the picture. You will feel some of the physical reactions, the shocking sensations experienced by the actors on the screen. I guarantee that The Tingler has more shocks per minute than my last film, The House on Haunted Hill. But don't be alarmed. You can protect yourself. When you see the picture, you will be told And remember the instruction, how you can guard yourself from attack by the Tingler. And now may I show you a few scenes from the Tingler? They actually have a character that you can buy. I think these folks may have made a Tingler that you can actually buy, and it's really nothing to it. It's really nothing to it. I mean, all it really is just a piece of rubber. I don't want to give it away for those of you who haven't seen it. I don't want to be mean like that, but. Anyway, so there's a caller, but
well, I got to go around it.
So go ahead. So anyway, go ahead and do what you got to do. Go ahead and leave and do what you got to do. And so
I got to go turn something on.
The Tingler is a movie made by William Castle, and
I'm going to go make an adjustment.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to leave.
Go make an adjustment.
All right, I got to come behind you.
Okay. Be sure to put your girdle on too. I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding. So William Castle came up with the genre. If you've ever seen the movie with John Goodman called what's that movie with John Goodman called? Do you remember that movie? He made a movie based on William Castle, even though they didn't say that. And it was a great movie.
I got to open that door.
And well, go ahead and open it.
It won't. I use the thing it won't.
Go ahead and open it. Go ahead and open it. Don't move the light. Don't move the light, but move that if you have to. All right. So anyway, I've had to move a stand. I'm sorry.
Are you still on camera?
Yeah. So real quick, the genre was to get the audience in, and they would hook a chair or chairs up to an electrical pulse, and basically what they would do is they would, when the movie reached a crescendo, the pulse would come up and electrocute, and hopefully a female patron was sitting in the chair, and she'd get up and scream, or they would plant a certain person in a certain chair or certain chairs, and bring up the audience. You know how it is when something bad happens and you get up and scream. And it makes all the other patrons in the theater, whether it's female or male, get up and scream as well. So that's basically what happened during that movie, which was funny to see. And at the Spook Show, they tried to emulate that as well, and tried to do that and get that going. And they did a pretty good job at it, considering. But it was funny to see them try to make it happen, because what happened was, if it didn't go off right, Professor Morte would come into the theater and start screaming and making everyone else scream at the same time. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of funny.
I'm back.
So anyway, so Al's back with us. Sorry, I was having to vamp, and I wasn't doing a very good job of it.
Oh, but, you did all right.
Anyway, so
I'm back.
So we can now take calls.
What happened was, hang on a second.
What
happened? Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Oh, okay.
And there it is.
I think it works now.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right, well, go ahead, caller. Well, we think it works.
I think it works. Who is this?
Hey, fellas, it's Chance. How's it going?
Okay. That's okay. Can you hear us?
Perfectly.
Okay, good deal. What was
Al has invented a new drinking game.
Really? What which
anytime
is?
he mentions Turner, take a shot.
Oh, okay.
So I'm good and drunk. I'm just kidding.
Now, wait a minute. Tom talks about him, too.
I know. I'm just teasing. Can I tell a quick story?
What?
Tom, do you know the movie Ghost Story with
Yes.
John Houseman and
Yes.
a bunch of great actors?
And Fred Astaire and yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about you, Al? Did you see that movie?
I've seen it several times.
I saw that movie in England, of all places, at Piccadilly. So, yep.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was okay, but it wasn't, to me, the greatest movie I've ever seen, for sure. But it was I think it's Fred Astaire's last film. I think it was.
Yeah, and he did an episode of Battlestar Galactica, too, around that time.
Yeah.
In 1979. But funny story, it's a G-rated story. When I was a teenager, that movie was on HBO, and I was at a girl's house up the street, and I was making out with one of her friends as we're watching the movie. And she catches me watching the movie while we're kissing and stuff, and she goes, "You were watching the movie."
Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, with one eye, and the problem was she was a lousy kisser, so I didn't tell her that, though. I was a gentleman, but I just wasn't really interested in her.
You're a gentleman?
That's good. So what was the scariest character you dressed up as Halloween? We can go back to as little as last year.
Oh, I'm dressing up, of course, when I was a teenager. But this a friend of mine who sadly passed away a couple years ago. His name is Larry Hutchison.
Yep.
He dressed me up as a vampire.
Right.
And he put what looked like cake icing on my face. It was brown, so it almost looked like bee face, but it wasn't. It wasn't intended to be. It wasn't. It was just spooky-looking makeup, and he was like a makeup whiz, or he thought he was. He was a kid at the time, and he put all this fake blood. It was a makeup kit, but it looked like cake icing, red, like Betty Crocker, and the fangs and everything.
And
so
did it cake up?
No, but anyway. But hey, I just got back from Athens. It's our buddy Danny's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to Danny.
Well, Danny's a nice guy. Tell him happy birthday.
Yeah. Did his daughter ever show up?
She did, and we did a live stream, but YouTube messed up, and it says the first one was 36 minutes, and it just ended.
Wow.
Automatically, not because we weren't playing clips or anything like that, where it's copyrighted, and it just ended, and it says 36 minutes, but when you play it back, it's only 1 minute and a half of it plays. So I just set it to private, and then we went live again, and the whole 45 minutes of that is up, and that's where his daughter came in.
Well, how did that happen?
I wonder if that's something new that they're doing.
He had horrible Wi-Fi, fellas. It kept dropping. I was very frustrated.
Yeah, I noticed that he kept what little I saw. It kept dropping out. So,
and I had to yell at Danny on his birthday too.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
And it was
now. Why would you do that?
He misrepresented the whole thing. He said, "My daughter will be here. Can you show up around 10:30? We'll do a live stream talking about graded comic books." I said, "Absolutely. It's your birthday." So I get all my gear. I show up on time at 10:30, and he's been drinking.
Oh, that's
and his daughter's not there. His wife is not there. And he doesn't seem to know what's going on. And then he says, well, we're going to do this on my YouTube channel and not live, and we'll just post it. I said, well, I already told people we'll be on at noon. So I said, well, I'll compromise. It's your birthday. We'll do a video on your comic book YouTube channel, and then we'll go live on mine. Yeah. And he said, fine. And he tried to simulcast it. It's irrelevant. It's a stupid story. But he tried to simulcast not live on his phone while I'm live on mine. And, I like to do a little intro like you fellas do. And by the way, Tom, that was an awesome video intro. I was driving back. I was watching on my phone.
Oh,
that was great.
You should watch it and drive.
You should be watching the road, not the phone.
I was multitasking. One eyeball on the phone, one eyeball on the road.
So you can do the Marty Feldman thing, one eye over here and one.
Exactly.
Anne Bancroft could do that, too. Did you ever see that, Al? Anne Bancroft could do that thing with her eyes like
no, I never saw that.
She could do that as well. So what's your favorite classic horror movie, if you have one? A classic horror movie. Now, we're not talking last year or year before. We're talking back in the 30s and 40s and 50s of the old classic genre? Which one is a go-to movie for you, if there is one?
Yeah, it would be House of Wax with Vincent Price in 3D.
Now, Al and I saw that in 3D at Cinevision.
It was Steve Newton's screening room, yes.
Well, on I-85, I think we knew you back then, but he ran the dual projectors and everything. And
it looked great.
It was 3D like you've never seen it before. Because
but he also, before House of Wax, he ran Spooks in 3D.
That's right, he did.
The Three Stooges, that was in 3D.
Yes, that's right. He did have that in 3D, didn't he?
It was the Three Stooges, and then he had the movie.
Now, have you seen it at the theater in 3D, though, Chance?
No, just on Turner Classic Movies. I haven't even seen it in 3D.
Really? Wow.
Well, the 3D is okay, but the only really good time the 3D worked when he was doing the little balls. You know, he's bounding the bat.
Yeah, and the fire. And I think the fire scene, the fire is a murder wrench in the foreground, and there may be a few other scenes, but it was, and of course the title was very 3D. The title. Now, you remember those 3D movies? I don't mean to get off the horror genre, but remember those 3D movies that came out in the, I guess it was the 80s, late 70s? They were just 3D movies. They didn't have much of a plot to them, but you went to the theater just to see
it. It was just a gimmick because television was coming around and they were doing things to get people in the theater.
Yeah.
They did 3D on TV with the creature from the Black Lagoon with the blue and red glasses.
Which, how did that look? Did you even see that? I never saw that.
Yeah, we did. Our family did. Back in '83, I was like 11 years old or something, and it looked okay.
But House of Wax with Vincent Price was not the first one. The first one was done in the 30s with Lionel Atwater, I think, was in it, and I have it on Blu-ray.
Lionel Atwell.
Lionel Atwell. Yeah. What did I say, Atwater?
Yeah, you did. Atwater Kent Radio.
That's true. But actually, it was done in two-strip Technicolor.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was two-strip. You know, and I have it on Blu-ray. That's a great movie too. That's I like it better than the Vincent Price one. Actually,
I had a couple reels of that I got from the Turner Film Shop. It didn't have
you
a
mentioned
soundtrack
Turner.
on it. Oh, I did, but it didn't have any soundtrack on it.
No,
and,
it was just when they were back in my days of running dailies, the video didn't have any sound on it. It was on a separate reel.
But this was done in the 30s, so I didn't have sound.
They did it that way back in the days too.
I don't know why those reels. I think I had two of them. I don't know why they would have made it back then. So what's your current horror movie that you like the best?
Well, I'll say this. I can't watch the supernatural ones anymore, even The Exorcist. They just spook me too much. You know, as we get on in age, you think about going to heaven, and I don't like to watch these Omen movies anymore. I used to love them.
Yeah.
But in terms of a modern, I kind of like this one called Cabin in the Woods from a few years back, like 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was a smart thriller. You know, it wasn't like a slasher.
Yeah.
And I'll never see the Saw movies. Those are disgusting.
Well,
those are gross.
Well, the Terrorizer movies, there's two of them. Those are just horrific.
And I never liked Friday the 13th movies too much.
I like the first few of them. That's about it.
I think when they first came out, even Halloween, I was much, like Chance said, I was much younger, and I think I liked them, but I don't care about them now.
You know
if you can stomach them.
You know what movie I watched on, it was on Tubi TV the other day.
Oh.
Was one that Michael J. Fox was in called The Frighteners.
Great movie.
You know, it was really kind of ahead of its time. It's really a fun movie, and it's directed by Peter Jackson, who did all the Lord of the Ring movies.
Yes, it was.
But I actually enjoyed the movie. It got better as it went along.
Yes, it did.
You know, and so I have. Funny, it came out in '94, I think. 91. Anyway, I never saw it in the theaters.
Now that was one of Michael J. Fox's last movies before his Parkinson's really took over.
Well, that was shot in New Zealand, and he didn't like being away from his family either. And he said that was the last time that he would travel to do a movie. But he was, then he went to the TV series Spin City, I believe.
Okay.
He did that after he did The Frighteners.
Right.
And then I don't know when his disease set in after that.
Well, it was there all the time, but now it's really bad.
Like I said, I enjoyed it. I watched it the other morning when I got up. It was on.
What about Doc Hollywood? Did you follow? Was Doc Hollywood? That was one of his movies in between the Back to the Future films.
I was projectionist in the theater when we played that movie. It was terrible.
Yeah, I know it.
It was terrible.
I know it was.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I watched some of it. And it's bad.
So we didn't go. So I know at one time you, me, and Chance, we went to Fright Night or whatever it's called at Six Flags.
Fright Fest.
Fright Fest. So have you been back since we went?
I've been to Holiday in the Park, not to Fright Fest. Been to the Christmas thing they do, which is not bad. It's not nowhere near as nice as Disney World, but they do okay.
And my legs were killing me that night after walking around so much. They hurt
Probably
so
the best
bad.
exercise you've gotten in a decade, Al.
Me too.
No, the best exercise was riding the Scream Machine.
Oh, yeah. That hurts your back.
That thing hurt
horrible.
my neck. That thing hurt my neck. I had to take ibuprofen after that. They don't, no offense to Six Flags, I'm sorry, but they don't keep it up like they should, like they used to.
They don't.
But it probably costs a lot of money. I mean,
well, we got in free, but that's besides
because
the
of
point.
me, yeah. And there's litter everywhere.
Yeah, there is. And at Disney, if you compare it to Disney, it's night and day. I mean, there's people around sweeping up trash. I mean, cleaning up, and if you find a dirty spot at Disney or even Universal,
You just said the magic word. I was going to mention Halloween Horror Nights. I've been. I love it in Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, which one did you go to? Did you go to?
I went to both. I went to Not So Scary Halloween. This is in 2016 and 2017, so it's been a few years. But Not So Scary Halloween at Disney and Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and they had people chasing people with chainsaws.
Yeah, I know Knott's. They changed the name to Knott's Berry Farm to Knott's Scary Farm, and this year, I don't know about the years gone by, but this year they I think it's years gone by too. They have a clown theme, and there's this one female clown. Her name is Bobbins, and she's great.
At Universal?
No.
You just said not Scary Farm.
Not Scary Farm, and she's great. So on TikTok, of all places, which we're not on, but TikTok has her all over the place. I see clips of her all the time, and she can change her voice from sweet innocent to a real. It just tears you up. It just she's fantastic. Her name is Bobbins. So she might be on Facebook for all I know. I haven't looked, but anyway.
There was a character like that, Tom, at Universal, a demented female clown in pigtails.
Yeah.
Terrorizing everyone. And guess what her name was?
What?
Chance.
Her name was Chance.
Yeah. I got pictures with her.
Wow.
I said, I'm the real Chance.
I am the Chance of the return.
You know what I hold in my hand right here?
What do you hold in your hand? Tell me what you're holding your formerly nicotine stained hands.
I never smoked.
Well, I'm homage to Rush Limbaugh. Come on.
I have a list here of the 5 best Halloween movies. I think it's Rotten Tomato.
All right, drum roll, Trance.
There's more, but I got 5.
Wait. That sounds like you spin your mic for it. No drum roll. Okay. See.
All right, number 5.
Number 5
is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, 1982.
Okay.
That's a good one, but I don't think it's in the top 5.
Well, this is not my list. This is their list. Anyway, number 4.
Yes.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993.
Really?
Yep.
I wasn't a big fan of that one either, but anyway, Disney is. Gee, I wonder why.
I've never heard of this movie. Number 3, Trick and Treat, 2007. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it. Who put out this list?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, Rotten Tomatoes. Okay.
Well, I've got their horror movies too.
They're full of Rotten Tomatoes so far.
Yeah.
Number 2. Hocus Pocus.
Oh, give me a break.
Really?
Hocus Pocus.
Bette Midler and Goldie Hawn and them?
But that's a very popular movie. In fact, the Cinema Draft Tap House in Sandy Springs is showing it. But anyway.
I know they did a Hocus Pocus too.
I doubt they sell 5 tickets to that.
Yeah.
And the number 1 movie.
I agree with him.
Halloween, 1978. They said that movie set the standard.
Well, that movie may have helped start it, but then again, Night of the Living Dead with George Romero.
I don't agree with all that.
Really started it back in the 50s. Yeah. When did he do that movie?
1968.
68. Yeah, I think you'd know. So I think that started Night of the Living Dead because I don't know what came after that to continue that genre.
Dawn of the Dead.
I mean, other movie producers coming out with movies
Well,
similar.
Night of the Living Dead
to
was,
Night
you
of
know,
the
it's
Living
made a
Dead.
lot of, it's made way more money than it cost to make.
Oh, of course.
You know, it's
So did Halloween, the number one on your list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, another movie that came along around the time of the Night of the Living Dead, this was 1960 though, was Carnival of Souls.
That's
a bizarre movie, but I like it.
That's a bizarre movie, yeah.
But it's one of my favorites. I have it on DVD.
That's a creepy little movie.
It's creepy. Carnival of Souls. You ever seen it, Champs?
No, sir.
You haven't seen Carnival of Souls?
No, I haven't. I'm
Get
being
out.
real with you.
Yeah,
But I'm raising my hand out. You can't see me. I'm raising my hand. will you admit, you just talked about Halloween being number one, that the Michael Myers mask is a Captain Kirk mask?
It is.
One time on the air in an early pod blast,
I don't know about that still.
No.
Are you kidding? Everybody knows.
They've done stories about it, so
I don't know.
It definitely is.
They changed the hair and changed the makeup, but it does. All right, I'm not trying to be argumentative. I just thought you might have seen the light, and you still haven't. That's okay.
Yeah.
How about the scariest movies ever made?
Ooh, well, Night of the Living Dead has got to be at the top of the list. But go ahead.
Now, this is Rotten Tomatoes. This is Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
I
okay.
looked them up.
Okay.
We'll go pretty quick. Number 15.
Okay.
It, Chapter 1, 2017.
Okay.
Did you ever see that?
I never saw it.
I did.
Yeah.
Clowns. Yeah.
They say it's one of the scariest movies ever. Is it? I don't know. I've never
No,
seen
it depends on your fear. If you're afraid of certain things, yeah, it all depends on the individual, really.
Number 14, Insidious, 2010.
Never saw it.
It's made for $1.5 million. It's grossed over $100 million. I never saw that. Insidious. Number 13, Sinister, starring Ethan Hawke, 2012.
No.
Never heard of that one?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Now, their number 12 is Halloween 1978. That's their number 12. Never heard, The Ring, 2002.
Very scary.
With
I agree with that.
With Naomi Watts, number 11.
Very scary. Did you
Really?
guys see that one?
I've never seen it.
I don't think I
Oh
have.
my God! This isn't a spoiler. A girl gets sucked into a VCR. A little girl, then she goes
I've
into a
seen
well. I'll just leave it. It's a terrifying moment.
Yeah, I've seen that
movie.
character. I've seen that character.
Yeah.
The Ring. I've never saw it.
Sucked into a TV and a VCR.
Number 10, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974.
Okay, I was going to say which one. Okay. Good. Okay.
Number 9, The Shining, 1980. I just didn't like that movie.
I didn't care for it either.
I didn't either. It's unanimous.
Yeah.
Overrated.
It's overrated.
No, the only good thing about that is the first continuous shot from the Steadicam, which was a new invention kind of back then, which now they use it on a lot of things. The Steadicam when the kids running through the snow, and that's the Steadicam doing that. But anyway.
Yeah, and Here's Johnny was the best part, I
Yes.
suppose. But I didn't like seeing Scatman Crothers getting whacked,
No,
even in fiction.
I didn't either.
Because I liked him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Number 8, and this is a good movie, Get Out, 2017, directed by Jordan Peele. Did you ever see that? That was really his first. It was made for $45 million, and it made $255.5 million.
No.
Get Out. You should check it out. It's good. It's really good.
Was
It's a
it?
hard
I
movie.
just haven't seen it.
Number 7, never heard of this. The Babadook, Babadook. I've never heard of it.
Wow.
Not familiar.
I don't know how we got. Number 6, Alien, 1979.
Maybe.
That's scary.
Yeah, it was scary at the time.
Number 5, Jaws, which was a great movie.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Number 4, Psycho, 1960.
It was a great movie, but okay.
The Conjuring, number 3, 2013.
No. We're about 1,000. No, we're not.
Hereditary, 2018. Never heard of that
no,
one?
never heard of that one either.
The number 1 movie
No.
by Rotten Tomatoes. The number 1 scariest movie.
I can't wait to hear it.
1973. You know what it is?
Yeah, The Exorcist.
Yeah, you're right.
Really?
The Exorcist. They said that's the number 1 voted movie, the scariest movie. of all
Probably
time.
so.
I remember.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. I
Did
remember.
Did you jump from number 8 to number 1, or was it just me mishearing?
What number 8?
It seemed like you went from,
Number 8 was the Get Out.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Get Out.
It seemed like you went from 8 to 1. And
No,
my
no.
bad.
The Shining is number 9.
Yeah. What was number 2?
Hereditary, 2018.
Yeah, you said that. You
Okay,
said that.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Okay.
So I remember our mutual friend Tom Hudgens. We all three know Tom Hudgens. May he rest in peace.
Right.
He had a print of The Exorcist on film, and he had the K guitar representative come over, and he was in town,
right,
selling him the guitars for his guitar shop, and Reggie Gerst, myself, Donnie Schraus, Tom, and this K rep, whose name eludes me, we were all sitting there watching it, and this guy all throughout the movie was going, "Help me, help me." I mean, he was serious. He was scared.
Really?
He was really genuinely scared by it. And he had to leave the room a couple of times. I remember. Who just saw it was so funny.
I remember waiting in line in my hometown of Wilmington to see that movie. It was a line almost around the theater, and it didn't really scare me. I didn't particularly like it at the time, but it didn't scare me. And
did you drink pea soup after the movie?
No,
I didn't drink pea soup.
Trivia: who voiced the demon in that movie?
Mercedes McCambridge.
Very good.
Oh,
yes, she did.
Very good. You must have written that down.
She was an actress. She's been around a long time. She's made a lot of movies.
She was in a Lost in Space episode.
Yeah, she's been around a long time.
Black and white one.
Oh.
She was in a movie with Joan Crawford.
Who I don't
a Western.
like.
It was called
Paleface.
No, I got the Blu-ray. I can't think of it. I can't think of what it is.
Oh well. Hey, Chancellor, can you see us?
Yeah, I have you muted on my laptop.
Do you see
There's a
the
delay.
the vampire character I've got here?
Oh yeah, and I like that little black jack-o'-lantern in the background.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I didn't have an extension cord. It lights up actually.
It lights up. Yeah. Which.
I see it now, Vampira. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
But no, the jack-o'-lantern lights up.
Well, that's a great list. I'm glad you came up with that list. I did not know that you had done that. I think that's great.
He did a lot of homework. I heard the intro.
He
I
did
thought
a
that was
lot
cool.
of
The
homework.
history of Halloween. I got to tip my hat to Al.
Yeah,
it's a Catholic thing actually. All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Well,
show him the Pope.
But the saints what?
Show him the Pope. You got the Pope up there.
Oh, I do, don't I?
You got the Pope. Have you dusted him off lately? You get the Pope.
So he's not dusty. He's fine.
Okay. All right. There he is.
That came from you.
Yeah. Anyway, and Elvis came from our friend Ryan DeHughes.
Ryan DeHughes.
So anyway, that it's been great. We didn't cover everything horror wise, and just let
there we
I'm
go.
sure he'll get back up. I'm sure he'll get back up. He's in a wheelchair now. Last couple of pictures.
No. Sometimes he is.
Okay.
Not all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we've covered classic movies. We've covered some of the newer movies, and one of the movies we're going to go down and watch probably is
the Voyage of the Last Demeter. Hang on a
Voyage of
second.
the Last Demeter.
I have the Blu-ray that came out
which
Tuesday.
Just came out Tuesday. Have you seen that one yet, Chance?
No, I haven't been to a movie since Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because I got COVID last summer.
Oh gosh.
And I haven't been back. I didn't get it at the movies. I'm just saying.
This is a wonderful movie. I got the Blu-ray on. I pre-ordered it from Amazon and it came Tuesday when it was released. It's great.
So how dark is it? Now, when I say dark, I don't mean storyline. I'm talking about overall. Was it shot dark because it's
it takes
night
place.
or
90% of it takes place on the ship on the Demeter.
At night or during the day?
That movie.
On both days.
Okay.
Everybody that's seen this movie liked it. Not many people went to see it. It didn't do well at the box office, and it's a shame because it's really a good movie.
Right.
You like movies about boats like Das Boot? You like submarine type movies. Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but I got something the other day that Chance would kill for.
What?
You know, there's a Marvels movie coming out called The Marvels.
Yeah, with the 3 Captain Marvels, the ladies.
I got this huge, it is huge, vinyl banner from that movie.
Oh, wow. What are you going to do with it?
I can sell it. It is big.
But Christmas is coming. It's my birthday next month.
But you can
I'm
roll
giving you
it.
birthday presents. You can Invaders DVDs, Fugitive DVDs. I could go on and on.
It is so big, it would cover where your comics are. It would cover up that whole thing.
I've got a Titanic a banner, vinyl. I'm sorry, I've got a Titanic banner, and I've got a Lost in Space banner, which is so big. I have yet to ever unfurl it. I can't.
Well, I've got lots of banners when I was in the theater business.
And it's. I know whenever I open up the box, at least when I used to open the box, the smell of vinyl was just amazingly. Woof, it just hit you in the face. But it's kind of like it's kind of like the band, which you need to show it to me. Like, how would you display that in a house?
It's huge.
It's so
huge.
big.
It's big. I mean, it would work well in the theater lobby. But when I went to pick it up, the lady says, "I don't know what's in this thing, but it's awfully big." I said, "It's probably a banner," and it was.
It was heavy. Was it heavy?
No, it's not heavy.
Oh,
it's a cardboard. It's in a cardboard thing. Yeah.
It may not be as long as you think, but
I rolled it out and looked at it.
Is it longer than the Iron Man and the Brother Where Art Thou vinyl banners I've got hanging?
It's bigger than that.
Oh wow,
it's big.
Tom.
Wow. Yes.
Tom,
yes.
You were talking about Titanic and the Lost in Space movie. Ironically, Lost in Space is the movie that beat Titanic and knocked it off the #1 perch it was on for months.
Oh, really?
In March of '98. Yep.
I did not know that.
Yes, you've got the two #1 movies in
Ta-da.
early 1998, anyway.
Yeah, if anybody wants to buy them, they're for sale.
That Lost in Space movie was not good.
It was okay, but yeah, it wasn't great. I got a couple of characters, not models, but they're statues or resins from that movie, just because my son liked the robot.
Here's some classic horror movies on DVD. Remember when TCM used to put out some
Yes.
really nice DVDs?
Oh, yeah. They don't anymore. Oh, wow.
No.
Look at that. Horror Dracula, Curse of
You
Frankenstein.
got Dracula has risen from the grave. Frankenstein must be destroyed. Horror of Dracula and
Now, have you ever-
the Curse of Frankenstein. You saw that, didn't
Yes, I did. Now, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed is a great movie. It's a good little Hammer movie that is just very, very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. That's some good movies.
Christopher Lee?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, there's some good movies.
Well,
there.
another good Dracula movie I have was the one with Frank Langella.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's a really good one, too.
He's a weird-looking guy.
Yeah, but he made a great vampire. He was really good in it.
No,
He was a bad Perry White in Superman Returns, in my opinion, but that's another story.
He was with Lucy, the girl that in the movie he really likes, and he says, "At any time my company displeases you, you have only yourself to blame." He, it's really that's one of the better versions.
Words to live by.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the best Dracula movies.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here.
Can I say one final
sure.
thing, or in a moment? Will you give me a moment just to say a final thing? Or
And this is the
Yeah,
1979
hang on a
version of Nosferatu.
That's not the one you should. Oh, that's the new one.
This is the one that came out in 1979.
Kinski.
Yeah, well, no, this is Klaus Kinski, Werner Herzog movie.
Which I thought he did a pretty good job considering. I thought he looked great. I thought he looked great.
And then Shadow of the Vampire was a good one, too.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Chance.
Well, I liked the version of that character in Salem's Lot on television.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to say my final thing was that I didn't explain when I yelled at Danny. He tried to start his show where he's like, "Welcome to the Kraken's Lair" at the start of my show when I'm live. And I'm like, wait, I got intro music. And he goes, I'm going. And I said, no, you're not. And and his daughter's moving to Orlando, so I want to wish her luck. She's starting a new career.
Wow.
This was the last chance to do a thing with her because we did a live stream last summer. And I was irritated when I got there. She wasn't even there. I'm a little miffed at old Danny, but I wish him well on his birthday.
Oh, now, where's she going to go do in Florida?
She is going to do a job in the medical field.
Oh, good.
And actually, she applied to be in the FBI, and she didn't make the cut, but she's going to pursue a career in the medical field in Orlando. And she loves beaches, she said. I said, well, you'll be near a beach. You won't be at the beach. But
she's 23, right?
Yeah. She's really nice, and her girlfriend was there too. She didn't want to be on camera in our little stream that we did. But yeah, man, his internet was just cutting in and out.
She's very knowledgeable, from what I remember. I've seen her a couple of times, and she's very knowledable. Considering
she saved the video. The
as
second
young
one we did,
as
that's
she
the only
is.
one that's up from today.
Yeah.
That she saved it because Danny was in my. Well, I don't want to insult him. It's his birthday.
No, don't.
It wasn't good. I think I did more damage to my YouTube channel than anything.
Well,
with that.
Well, I mean, YouTube is just, I don't know. I don't know what they were doing to you, but hopefully you get it worked out.
They've been taking views away of my Mark Goddard tribute, which had nothing offensive, no copyright or anything. And every night they reset the views to 19 or 16. After it climbs up in the hundreds, I don't understand.
Wonder why they do that.
And
That's
I took
weird.
screenshots. I'm serious. It's real. I took a picture before I went to bed, and when I woke up, time-stamped. I know. I don't get it.
Well, who do
and
you
they did
write?
that with my Suzanne Summers tribute, too, I noticed last night. They took views away from that.
But who do you write?
I did look into that. You can reach out to Google, and there's a forum where they talk about how they audit their metrics. And the thing that's silly, Tom, is that if you post a link to YouTube on Facebook and someone clicks it, they don't think that's a valid view. And I'm like, that's advertising. That's marketing.
Yeah, I think so,
that's
too.
Like
so
networking.
Google owns YouTube, right?
Yeah, Google does.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
And I'm monetized on my other channel, but
Yeah.
I don't want to say it because there's no need to say it.
Well, you got over. I think it's over 5,000 now on Facebook, right? Over
Yeah, Well, yeah, we all do really. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, but yeah, it's 5,700 and something like that.
That's good. That's a good number. That's a good number.
And then my other YouTube has they used to make it we have to have 1,000 subscribers, but they said with 500 it's okay.
I know on TikTok we found out yesterday that we were talking about going live on TikTok as well. But you have to have at least 1,000 followers.
You have to have 1,000 followers. I only have on TikTok. I have 126 followers.
Yeah, I've got 896. I think.
Well, you're close to 1,000.
So I'm close.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to have that many before that option even shows
What
up.
content are you putting out there, Tom, on TikTok?
Oh,
Are you
different.
putting stuff out there?
Yeah. Well, not me going live, obviously.
Well,
'cause
I
can't.
have. I've got a bunch of stuff.
But I
up
got
there.
a bunch of stuff on there too, and I've reposted a lot of stuff.
My last post on TikTok is got in like 4 days. It had 907
Wow,
views.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Chance? Are you on TikTok?
No, sir. But I did find a film in my collection from Tom Hudgens, whom you mentioned.
Yes,
in
you
today's
did,
show.
and you sent me a picture of that. Yes.
Yeah.
God
yeah,
bless you.
on
God
the
bless
carton
you.
right there.
Yeah.
Newport News, Virginia.
Yep.
Do you feel like watching the Demeter?
We may do it, but we got to get out of here.
Yeah, you got to watch your movie. All right. Well, thanks for.
Well, thank you, Chance, for calling
Yeah,
in.
it was fun.
And
It was fun.
sorry you weren't able to. When you text me earlier about dropping by, we had everything set up and we didn't have
No,
another
it's cool. No
microphone
need to
plugged
apologize.
in.
I understand.
Well, the reason I didn't answer the phone is I had my my Telos was unplugged.
Yes, it was, and that's
okay.
where he went to the. That's where
I had to get up and go and plug it up.
Yeah, that's where I went solo there for a little while he
Why'd you
plugged it up.
unplug it? Were you vacuuming?
And I was cleaning up in here one day, and I unplugged everything to shut it down, and was cleaning, and I didn't plug it back.
Not
No
to me-
worries, man. No
not-
worries. Well, I'm going to go sterilize all my gear from being at Danny's smoke-filled studio. Oh, my God.
not to
Dead
mention-
roaches everywhere.
Wow.
I'm sorry to talk bad about my friend, but it was disgusting.
Roaches? I thought he had a clean house.
He had, no, God, dead roaches. There's a dead salamander.
Oh, my God.
I saw in the corner down there in that little studio area. It was filthy, and he's smoking like a chimney. I mean, oh, my God. I even said on our stream, I said, smoking is a disgusting, filthy habit.
Well,
You
does
should see
he,
the
does,
look on
he
his
doesn't go
face.
outside? Was this his house? He can do what he wants.
He smokes inside, and so does his wife. I mean, that's their life. He's probably not watching this, so I feel bad saying it on his birthday.
Well, you
golly.
know,
Well, that's his life. He can do what he wants.
we all have our pros and cons and
That's true.
and whatnot.
Dang, but not when it affects other people, you know. God, guess.
Something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. Oh well.
Did we cover everything?
I think we did. I think we covered everything we were going to cover at that time. So, Chance, it's good. It's good hearing from you, and we'll talk with you. I don't know if we'll do a show next week or not, but if we do, by all means, pop up, and we'll see. I'll have to remake some stuff, but yeah, pop up and we'll do something.
Well, yeah, man. Hell, I'd like to if you have it formatted for 3 people. I mean, if Al is willing, I'd like to be in there with you like we used to do.
Well, we might do that. We might do that at some point.
Maybe not for Halloween.
It's
but,
becoming winter time now, so I don't know. It's becoming colder.
We got to get them Pizza Hut pizzas like we used to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right.
All right, Chance.
Great.
Holler at
See
you
ya.
later, man. Okay,
Thank you,
bye.
thank you,
Bye.
Chance.
Bye.
So that was Chance Bartels from the Nostalgic Pod Blast page.
That we started a long time ago.
Is that Sonny?
That's Sonny.
What's he barking at?
He's window shopping.
Oh, he's window shopping.
No, he get in the chair and look out the picture window
Oh,
there.
okay.
If he sees somebody walking on the street, he'll bark.
You know, my dogs do that too. But
Yeah.
when you have 7 dogs doing that,
Yeah.
Well,
Sonny's a good dog. He turned 10 years old in June.
10? Whoa.
Can you believe?
10 years old?
Hear the train?
That's what that is?
Yeah. Hear the train?
Yeah.
I don't live too far from a train track, but you know, I like hearing the train.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know where they can hear it or not.
Well, let's hit some music.
So we covered everything?
Yeah, I think we did. I think we
We've gone probably an hour and 40 minutes.
Wow, well, incredible.
Yeah,
so y'all keep in touch. Make comments as you watch this, and we will look forward to reading the comments. And we will see you next time.
See you later. Happy Halloween.